Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. How do I measure if I was able to complete a whole jigsaw of a pathway Toastmasters? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, I have just completed strategic relationships. Strategic relationship was the first pathway I made a plan for. I put it on a table and I wrote down on my piece of paper what I was going to do and how I was going to achieve it. And then I gave it a theme. And my theme was measuring time. My first speech, my icebreaker, I delivered an icebreaker in order for everyone to understand who I was and one of the skills that I had. And that skill is numbers. I like numbers. And so in my icebreaker, I shared with people my passion for numbers and how numbers really impact on a lot of things that I do. And it definitely impacted on my plan for strategic relationships. As I traveled through level 1, I discovered that I wanted to use this particular pathway to not gain anything for myself, but to inspire everyone else. Inspire each individual Toastmaster in order for them to grow. Inspire Druitt Koori Toastmasters in their journey moving forward. And so that's what I've done. Every speech after my inspiration was about supporting Druitt Koori to grow. My last speech in level 3, which was researching and presenting, I delivered the preamble for Druitt Koori's 300th meeting. I did a lot of research looking at the growth of Druitt Koori from its very inception many years before. And then I had the pleasure of delivering that preamble to a very packed house and then was evaluated by Amanda, which was something I really enjoyed. My level 2 process was all about education, because level 2 is where we start to evaluate ourselves. And I wanted to make sure that those evaluations of myself was going to be able to be inspiring others. My first speech on leadership was delivered in order for me to lead others. My second speech was all about cultural inclusion. And at the time, I delivered that speech at another club because I was visiting another club and people were asking me about my identity as an Aboriginal person. And I wanted to educate them and share with them the positive things about being an Aboriginal person. And I put it together in bits and pieces of a jigsaw puzzle so that people knew and understood that being an Aboriginal person was a positive part of who I was. My mentoring speech was delivered, how do I look at myself within a team? And it was a very clever way of me presenting that in that team, I was a mentor and a protege, and I built a whole process around that team. Level 3, I have to tell you that normally in any other journey I've been on in Toastmasters, I sort of skip over level 2 because it's a little bit scary. But when I made a plan and I delivered on my level 2, it wasn't scary anymore. But level 3 is the fun level. And I always encourage everyone to engage in level 3. But for the first time ever, I delivered a project called Focus on the Positive. And it was so much fun. It was really inspiring when we look at and we focus on the most positive aspect of everything that we do. And I used that last year in Corroboree. We've done an incredible activity where we focus on everyone's positive aspects. Level 3 continued when I'd done some active listening about creating a meal. We all know the way to anyone's heart is through the stomach. And if you make a good meal, they'll come. So I use this aspect to share and find out what meals people enjoyed. As I continued on my journey in level 4 and 5, it was all about my connection with community. Talking at last year's Penrith NAIDOC event, having an opportunity to speak in front of a large group of people about the theme of NAIDOC. I looked at and worked in partnership with other Toastmasters to deliver a wonderful project with Penrith City Council about the Disability Inclusion Action Plan and to ensure that we have access to our community in a safe way. All these projects built my jigsaw puzzle around a strategic relationship. In conclusion, I learned so much from completion of strategic relationship. I learned how to work in a team. I learned how to look at everything through a positive vision. But more importantly, I learned how to make sure that I grow through others. And if I didn't approach this project to say that I wanted Druitt Koori to be the winner, it would have been a very different pathway. So it wasn't me that completed this pathway, it was definitely Druitt Koori. And I thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.